years and counting, we are your destination for news and interviews from within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for America's longest-running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd live and in person for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
How you doing, everybody? Thanks again for joining us for another D'Angelo's Construction Road Show. We're hanging out here, if you couldn't tell. We're in Victory Lane at the Milwaukee Mile. This show is presented by Oak Creek Automotive. We've got a lot to cover. Race cars are finishing up their final moments here in practice here at the Milwaukee Mile for a big Father's Day 100. 5 divisions of racing. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Make sure you share this with your friends. There's a lot of drivers we want to talk to as there's a long day of practice between noon and 4 o'clock today. The Midwest Truck Series is racing the Father's Day 20. That's 20 laps, 20 miles around the Milwaukee Mile. We have a couple of guys that are dialing it in. Derek Doors raced here a couple of times in different cars, and Chester Ace was inches away from a victory here. The Midwest Truck Series guys are hanging out with us. Derek, Chester, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
Derek beat you here, Chester. He's still wearing his suit at half mast, by the way. It's okay. It's tied up the right way. It's not on his ankles. Good to see you guys here. How was your day, first off, Derek?
Pretty good. In every session, I feel like we're right in the mix of that speed range where you're just on the brink of, being pretty fast and pretty racy. So I feel like we have a racy truck for tomorrow. Last time I raced here in 2021, it was a, 10th place qualifying truck, and we were right in the mix there with everybody. So long run speed feels really good. So hopefully have something tomorrow.
Chester, you've got really good notes. How did they apply for you to practice today to race tomorrow afternoon?
Well, we built a brand new truck in the off season, so notebook kind of went out. We starting from scratch, so truck really good. I think we were top of the charts the last 2 sessions. Got to thank all my guys. We just plugged away at this thing all day. We unloaded decent, but just worked on it, and I think we got one that'll put on a show tomorrow.
So when it comes to figuring that out, how many laps do you take at a time, Chester, to get, okay, we're going to do a 4-lap run, we're going to do a 6-lap run. Is there a science to that, or you want to just get the certain feel and however long that takes, it takes?
Well, Derek knows the first 2 laps are your fastest laps. If you don't get up and going, you ain't going to put down a good lap, so you really can't go by your first 2 laps because that ain't long-run speed, obviously. Your 5 tires fall off so much here, but I think we were pretty consistent on the long run. The last 2 sessions, we didn't put a different tire on. We just ran it till we couldn't run them no more. Put good 25 laps on them so we know what they're going to do tomorrow, and that's all you can do. Try to simulate. It's not the same as the race, but you try and simulate the best you can. You know that.
Hang out with Chester Ace and Derek Dorr racing tomorrow in the Midwest Truck Series. Return to the Milwaukee Mile. You mentioned it's a brand new truck, Chester. Has it been the one you've been using all year, or is it something you guys kind of stuck to the side for Milwaukee?
No, we unloaded it at Madison. On Madison, we had a really good truck. Unfortunately, we just didn't get any practice Friday. Fighting fuel issues. I don't know if it was the pump or what, but we got it fixed, but it was a little too late. We didn't get any long runs. We didn't know what we had until it came race time, and we just had her a little too free, and we were fighting that the whole way, but we had a good truck. We didn't get it dialed in like we should have. Today, I'm glad we ran good all day.
Derek Dorr joining us as well. Derek, I know you brought your own equipment here. You brought your own super late model here to race. The setup this year, different number, same approach. Who you all got working with you?
Yeah, this year we teamed up with Trevor Raskey in the 31 Motorsports truck. I ran it 3 races at the end of last year, and the end of the year, 2021, I ran the following with it. So had a fast truck the first 3 races for the year. Just some bad luck in the races, getting caught up in incidents and stuff. Kind of right in the mix. Qualifying 8th the first 2 races, 14th at the second one. It's just tough. This truck field is so tight. So always feel like we have a good piece in race trim. So hopefully cards will fall our way Sunday, and we can come home with a decent finish. So,
did you bring anybody special on board for the Milwaukee Mile race?
Mainly just came with our normal crew. My dad, Tom, Trevor, Mike McGavick, everybody, same crew usually. So pretty happy with it today and happy to be here. So
our old friend Mike McGavick was on this stage in 2012 after Travis Sauter raced his way to the inaugural Howie Letto 150 victory as a crew member then. It's coming to mind because I was up here hanging out with those guys coming all up on the stage, and I knew most of them. Chester, you must know your guys and trust them with this new truck and getting speed. Who do you got helping you this weekend?
Yeah, we got Andrew helping us. We built this truck from scratch in the off season and put a lot of hours into it, and we were very meticulous about everything. So I got to thank him. I got to thank my dad, obviously, and my wife and every father out there. I got my second one on the way here at the end of July.
Yay, congrats.
So,
I didn't know that.
So, yeah, it's a special weekend. The first, I'll go off just a little bit on you here for a second. In 21, we found out she was pregnant the day Saturday practice day here.
Here, okay.
Yep. And then last year we got to bring my daughter here, and then this year we got another one pretty darn close. So Father's Day weekend has always been special to me here, and we've been really close. Like you said, that close finish with Swan.
Yeah.
21 last year, we had a really good short run truck. Got fast time. We just didn't have long run. This year I think we got a truck that's going to have a nice combo of both, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But, yeah, my whole crew, everybody back there, putting late nights in the shop, I can't thank them enough. The driver's okay, and the crew makes them look better. So
it's going to be fun to watch. The first truck race of the afternoon is the first race of the 5 races tomorrow afternoon starting at 1 o'clock sharp. Guys, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for coming down for a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Derek Dorn, Chester Race, Midwest Truck Series racing at 1 o'clock, their first race of the day, followed by a number of races. We have some practice in the morning as well, so if the teams are actually still en route here, there's still time to practice, then qualify for tomorrow's races in the 5 divisions. We've got the ASA Stars National Tour, racing with the Midwest Tour. That's one division. We just talked to the Midwest Truck Series. We also have the Vors Compact Touring Series, Mid-Am Racing Series, and the Upper Midwest Vintage. We got a guy here who's not quite old enough to figure out what a vintage car is yet because he's not, you have to be like 25-year-old cars to get the vintage plates on. He's not there yet, but it's great to see you back here. Luke Fenhouse, thanks for coming back to hang out with us here in Victory Lane at the Mile.
Yeah, of course. It's been a good day so far, so hopefully we can keep it rolling tomorrow.
Luke Fenhouse drives the Dunreddick Series number 4. He has done a lot of things. Finished second in the ASA Midwest Tour points. Won his first ASA Midwest Tour race at Slinger. There's a lot going on, but when it comes to the Milwaukee Mile and getting the chance to race back home after moving to North Carolina, there's opportunities you want to grab and take full advantage of. What do you guys work on today?
Just setting our balance up. We've done some different things with our sway bar, and some have helped at some tracks and some have hurt. So just going back to our baseline for tomorrow, really, we tried a couple new things, and they really didn't work out. We've seemed to struggle today, but we're hoping to get it back on track tomorrow and keep rolling and carry our speed into tomorrow and make it a little bit better.
The way these practice sessions are lined up, we mentioned the 5 divisions, and really it's every hour you stack the deck and you reshuffle that thing every top of the hour. You guys got a chance to go on the track at 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, and 3:30. How did that work for you guys? Was there enough time in between? Because you're not stuck with like a 50-minute practice and you get everything in and that's it. How'd that work out for you guys today?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, we mainly changed gears almost every practice session, and then we finally got close to where we think we should be, and we're going off that. So it was all right. Shock changes can go by fast, so it happens really quickly, and I'm thankful to have my guys behind me that work really hard each week and come to the racetrack with fast race cars. So like I said, hopefully we can get something figured out for tomorrow and bring fast speed tomorrow.
You've been in contention here, racing for a win on the backstretch. Something happened between you and Dalton Zier. I bring that up because I'm sure it's still vivid in your memory as well. You had a really good piece that day. Are you getting to that comfortable level yet? Because you got one more practice tomorrow before you qualify.
Yeah, it's just hard. Last year, we put it in the fence twice before we even started the race. So that was hard to swallow. And then 2 years ago, we had a really fast race car and ended up the fence again. So just regrouping, as a team, being on the same 8-ball game and, just doing what we do. We bring the same guys to each racetrack, and we got a good balance, mainly everywhere we go. And we're just trying to keep that up for tomorrow. And, little tunes I think will get us there.
Luke Fenhouse joining us. Luke Fenhouse will also be returning to the Milwaukee Mile, racing in the Sprecher 150. That's the ARCA Menard Series race on Sunday, August 27th here at the Mile. That's a companion with the ARCA Menard Series East where you're a full-timer. Mm-hmm. You got to win this year at Nashville. You got to play that guitar.
Yep.
How much is today part of that building process to make sure you're in contention when both ARCA Series race here in August?
Yeah, it's a little bit. Obviously, I've learned a lot throughout the past 2 years that I've been here, and those cars are so different with braking-wise and steering box-wise, and so it's just a different animal. But definitely learned a lot from, when I ran a Super at Nashville to an ARCA car, and helped me a bunch on that side, and just trying to do the exact same, keep learning with how the top groove comes in tomorrow and how we can roll the bottom, and restarts are a big thing. So working on those for sure and getting ready for later in August.
Hey, we appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time. Anybody here that's going to be rooting you on? I know Dad's here already. I saw Al working over there. And by the way, great article in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, JS Online, about the Fenhouse family and racing, previewing this weekend. It's pretty cool to see your dad getting some time and really you getting a chance to say, yeah, Dad has done quite a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to share a weekend with Dad and the whole family here. They're really my crew, so it's cool to race with my whole crew up here, and it's special for my dad to work with him this weekend and just cherish it. Cherish these moments together, and they don't come very often, so it's nice to get together as a whole team, and a lot of them are dads, so it's nice to have them step away from their families to come help me and help me live my dream. So it's a special weekend, and it's going to be a good show tomorrow.
Luke Fenhouse graduated high school early to move to Charlotte to begin his next phase and getting involved. And great to see you back here a couple of times in Wisconsin. And best of luck tomorrow, Luke.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Luke Fenhouse joining us here on the Racing Roundup Show. If you want to be part of our program at any point, our website's racingroundupshow.com. Looking forward to having you join us each and every Tuesday. We do that show primarily at Polly's Pub and Eatery, which is outside Turn 1 here at the Milwaukee Mile. We've been doing it for 39 years now on a weekly basis, but it's really cool to be out here hanging out in Victory Lane. The DeAngelis Construction Roadshow rolls on thanks to Oak Creek Automotive. Couple of guys, one from Nova Scotia, one from now Mississippi, join us here. They are contenders for the ASA Stars National Tour Championship. Let's welcome in Cole Butcher and Casey Roderick. Guys, thanks for spending a few minutes with us here.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
I saw you guys give fist bumps. I'm guessing that's a good thing because only one of you guys could be here tomorrow afternoon. Cole, how was your day so far?
It was pretty good. It was definitely a learning experience. I've never been on such a big racetrack.
Really?
Yeah, it's my first. I know past always races the mile up at home in New Hampshire, but I've never done it. So this is definitely different. Definitely, it's pretty fast, but also it feels slow at the same time. So it's just different.
When it comes to getting it figured out, you were part of the Wilson Motorsports team. They brought 4 cars here, 3 drivers, right? Because Corey Heim was popping between 2 cars today.
Yep.
How'd you get dialed in? I saw you studying some dartfish earlier. How are you guys kind of working with Gio and his first time here as well?
Well, we were watching this guy for the most of the day on dartfish, but no, I think we were pretty good. But last practice, I was very happy with it. I felt like I had really good car control. I could go wherever I wanted to. So we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Looking forward to any more changes left? You guys going to have an early breakfast meeting because you had that one small practice in the morning.
No, I'm sure we'll throw this kitchen sink out, but we can't tell you that.
Cole Butcher here, keeping a tight lip here, but a very strong run. Third in the points currently. The driver that comes in this race second in the series after 4 events, Casey Roderick. It's been a return for you. Finished 5th here back in 2019. Different team, different setup. And I'm guessing like 7 generations of chassis ago, right? So what can apply to your little experience from one time here a couple years ago?
I think, the first laps on the track, I felt comfortable. I knew what to expect. And it's a little slower through the corners than I remember. I thought we were a little faster back in 2019, but it's hard to say. It's been so long now. But I feel like today went well. We started out, a little slow on the first session until we put tires on and gained a lot of grip with the tires that came from the track here. So I feel like we're close. Just still need a little speed. I think Majeski's by far the best car right now.
Where do you think he's got the speed? He's been studying the film. He's been studying you. Where do you think he's got you?
I'm struggling a lot in 3 and 4. I feel like I give up in 3 and 4 a lot, just rolling the center and keeping the car down. If I try to keep the car down, just easing in the corner and trying to pick up the gas a little too quick, I wash out really bad. And it's kind of the same thing if I hit the corner too hard. So I'm trying to juggle back and forth what I need to do on my entry to help the car handle-wise, through the center of the corner. But chassis-wise, I think we need to get a little closer in 3 and 4 to be, where Majeski is right now.
Casey, I know in the past, a couple of races this year, you've had a chance to race with a teammate. William Byron has raced with Anthony Campy Racing. You've got a lot of depth there in just your team with the Team Platinum combination. How do you work through that? Do you rely upon your notes? Do you rely upon the chassis guy, the shock guy? I mean, how do you get closer dialed in to unique tracks that you have not been to enough?
Well, it's hard because each driver is different. Everyone likes different things, and some things that I've noticed, like when William's running with us at North Wilkesboro and Hickory, sometimes I don't like what he likes. So you gotta focus on you, man. It's you can do one thing. I know we changed something to go kind of like what they had during the race at Hickory. We changed my car on the pit stop, and I got better. But feel-wise in practice, I didn't feel like we were better with what he had. So it's just you really need to be able to make it run in practice and really tell what your car is going to do. But you can't. I mean, it's hard to do that and make changes also and try to get better. So we just kind of play it out today and think about what we did during practice and apply it to for tomorrow's practice sessions and see if we can make it a little better.
Thoughts of Casey Roderick, who finished 4th at the Joe Shear Classic, the first of 3 ASA Stars National Tour races held in Wisconsin here in this 10-race schedule. Cole Butcher, I know at Madison, I was talking to Bon Sauce, who works with you guys in every way. He talked about you and your teammate Gio Ruggiero racing full-time in the series. All 10 races, we have at least 2 Wilson Motorsports cars here. Bon said you guys came with 2 different setups at Madison, and you trying to find which way is better. How close do you get, or do you migrate based upon the performances? How has that helped you guys acclimate to new tracks like this one again this weekend?
I think it just helps us learn faster. When people come here with one car, they always have to stick with their one setup, but we're able to come with 2 opposite setups, and at the end of the day, go back to the drawing board and see what was better, where, and et cetera. So definitely with having 4 cars here, we have an advantage over everybody with that, but it just depends. Like Casey said, every driver is different, so it doesn't always work out.
Casey, when it comes to racing at tracks like this, I think I remember hearing something about Wisconsin or Upper Midwest asphalt's different, or the tracks seem to have more bumps or something like that. How do you guys just kind of have the mindset? I'm not saying you're from far away. You guys do this a lot at all different kinds of tracks. But when it comes to a track like this one, you think, okay, is it going to be weathered because we got 9 months of winter here? Those kinds of thoughts that must go through your mind, right?
Well, I mean, there's things like motor-wise and stuff, tuning carburetors and things. With the way the air is up here, it's a little drier, cleaner air. So I think tuning the carburetor to that is you can help yourself a little bit maybe. But as far as the tracks go, like Madison, it was pretty rough. This track's smooth.
And you raced at Wisconsin International Raceway before in Kaukauna.
Yep. And it's sort of the same characteristic, a little bit rough. But I don't know, man. I like the tracks up here, honestly, better than back home. I think the racing's better up here. You got a lot of good competition, and guys race you hard but clean, and they can get dirty if you're dirty to them. That's just standard policy. So, but everyone's so welcoming up here to me. I think the fans, the racers, I mean, I've had a lot of different competitors come up to me and thank me for being up in their neck of the woods, so that's pretty cool. I like that. I try to give back the same kind of treatment when they come down to us. So,
in case you're in Mississippi, not too many pavement drivers out of Mississippi. I think maybe Lake Speed or something like that. I know you're not from there, but what's your day job? We got to tell people that you are racing as much as you can, but you got a day job too, don't you?
Yeah, I haul chicken shit. No, it's I started out hauling shavings to chicken houses when I first moved out there, and I've just slowly migrated into being a clean out crew, and so my dad and I and Toby Hodge, Emily's father, she's the one that got me to come out to Mississippi, and I just started working with him, and just migrated into having my own business, doing clean outs for people, and we service a lot of row crop farmers up in the Delta. So I've really enjoyed it. I've met a lot of nice people. It's nice to be out here racing, though. This is what I've done my whole life, and get a little break from work.
It's great to see you here. Thanks for spending some time. That's 30-year-old. He's far from done. He's got like 35 more years of racing, right? At least,
That's right.
30-year-old Casey
I don't see
Roderick.
myself quitting anytime soon if I can, the financial part works out to where I can stay racing. But hopefully we can get a good run this weekend and keep our people happy and stay interested in racing.
That's awesome. Casey, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I'll be the next guy to say thank you for being here. It's really good to see you here in Milwaukee. We're hanging out with you. We're still hanging out with you live at the DeAndre Construction Roadshow is here in Victory Lane. We're letting Casey go because now I'm going to have a guest co-host. You know what that means? 18-year-old Gio Ruggiero, his teammate Cole Butcher. It's Cole and Jim asking Gio questions. What should we ask him first?
What's your girlfriend's name?
My girlfriend's name? Amanda.
That's all you got?
He always says he doesn't have one, so I was waiting for it.
All right. Gio, thanks for coming on. The most recent winner of the ASA Stars National Tour. I put them both on the spot. I feel bad about that, but in a good way because you guys have been battling at this. You guys committed and dedicated to racing the ASA Stars National Tour. And Gio, you might have heard me say it 10 times or once. When I saw you perform last year at the All-American 400 and how good you were in a super late model, not that many laps on it, to finish on the podium there, did that give you the confidence, or were things already in the works working with Wilson Motorsports or getting into super late full-time to go race the national tour type stuff?
Yeah, for sure. That definitely gave us a little bit of confidence coming into this year. Nashville was always a really good track for me, even when I raced a pro late model there last year, though.
Okay, time for Gio and Jim to ask Cole a question. Gio, what you got for your teammate here after this long 4 hours of practice and working things through?
How's your car, Cole?
It's pretty good. I think we're all pretty well the same over at the Wilson camp. Corey might be a little bit better than us, but we'll get him tomorrow.
So Bonds Huss has notes from like 2001 with Kevin Sawinski here racing an ASA car back in the day. Does he bring those notes out and say, guys, we're starting here. We got to make sure these are pressures, that kind of stuff? Or what does he add to the team as a guy that oversees all as a former ASA national champion, crew chief champion?
His mind's going all the time.
Yep.
I remember when we were getting ready to load Friday, we had to pull all the girls out and work on them. So he's never stopping. Bond's really good for the team. Him and Dennis, Will, Donnie, they work their butts off. So we can't thank them enough for providing great race cars, and hopefully it shows tomorrow.
So Cole's from Nova Scotia, Gio's from Massachusetts, but I'm guessing you guys don't live too far from the shop in the Carolinas, right?
No, me and Cole both moved down to North Carolina so we could be closer.
Did you finish high school online, or are you still doing high school? Is that
a
year and a half ago?
Online,
okay, all right. Is that done now? School's out?
Yep.
So what are you at? I know it's important to be around. I really do, and I respect the heck out of what you guys have an opportunity, especially you, Gio, with working with Toyota Racing Development. When it comes to doing that kind of thing, that's a commitment. That's a buy-in. That's I don't want to be there. I have to be there, and I want to be there kind of situation. How is that working for you and the pressures to perform, especially when you got guys like Cole coming and challenging you as a teammate to make everybody better?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love it. We're in the gym there every day of the week. Always, doing something sim, whether it's being at the gym or doing sim time, doing heat room, doing go-karts, always training to be better. So I really enjoy having all the opportunities there to be able to do all that and train to be better.
Talking with Gio Ruggiero and Cole Butcher, two of the four drivers based on the Wilson Motorsports Camp, racing tomorrow in the Father's Day 100. There's 5 races tomorrow. The big one, the Father's Day 100 for the ASA Stars National Tour and the ASA Midwest Tour, is going to be starting around 2:30, 3 o'clock, somewhere in there. We got 3 races prior to that. With all this track time, Cole, you've been to a lot of different racetracks. A lot of different teams and divisions may have a little different rubber down on the racetrack. Does that seem to matter here with the big, long racetrack? Do you see rubber patterns, or do you feel anything in the race car as warm as it's been today?
I haven't really noticed or felt anything different throughout practice. I think maybe it was more so me getting accustomed, us getting better as a team. But I think the place is so big, and I don't think the other smaller divisions are putting down the rubber that they would at like a Hickory or an Oxford when ACT would go there. So I don't really see that personally. Gio might have a different perspective, but I haven't noticed that.
Gio comes in here 5th in the points. A lot of different things being thrown at you. What were the things you had to acclimate best to, or maybe surprised you today with your first trip here to the Milwaukee Mile, Gio?
Definitely have to keep the car wound up for sure and keep your momentum going. That's probably the biggest thing to being fast. I feel like that's something that's going to be very important during the race tomorrow.
And when it comes to tomorrow morning, I mentioned to Cole, you got one more practice. He said, I can't tell you what we're going to do. That's top secret. We're not going to go there. How important do you think qualifying will be for you guys tomorrow, Gio?
Track position is definitely going to be very important here. Going to need to qualify good and start up front to have a chance to win the race at the end for sure.
Cole, you've won some big races. Last year's Oxford 250, check that box. I know it took a long time to get away from the COVID restrictions and get back to racing for you guys. I just can't imagine how hungry you are for a win at a track like Milwaukee tomorrow.
Oh, no, for sure. Winning here on Father's Day with my father here, it would be awesome. But, tough competitors, like Gio said, you got to qualify up front. It's really hard to pass. Really hard to pass. So me and Gio was out there behind Corey once. He's like, I got to hit my line perfect in order if I'm going to even keep up to him. So he's not wrong at all. So definitely track position is going to be key tomorrow, and I can't wait.
And what I've seen in the first 4 races, that passing opportunity is prime because you guys have been so fast and so consistent. It's just hard to get that little bit of an edge. We hope you get that edge. Both of you guys get the race for the win tomorrow.
Thank you.
How about I stand for Cole Butcher and this guy, Gio Ruggiero, for joining us for a few minutes. Guys, thanks for hanging around with us.
Thank you. I appreciate
Enjoy
it.
the day. Tomorrow morning, they got to be right back here at 8 something for a driver's meeting. Appreciate it, guys, very much. We're going to take a commercial break, step away for a few moments here on a D'Angelo's Construction Roadshow brought to you by Oak Creek Automotive. We're hanging out live at the Milwaukee Mile on Father's Day 100 race weekend. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors. Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Allis.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move. BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move. Statewide.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
We're having a ball here today at the Milwaukee Mile. Practice from noon to 4. Tomorrow things get going as soon as 9 a.m. when gates open. Practice on the track at 9:30. All 5 divisions get a practice round, qualifying rounds, whether it be groups or individual. We're going racing at 1 o'clock tomorrow at the Milwaukee Mile for the Father's Day 100 presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. And great racing throughout the afternoon with some grassroots racers from near and far. We're hanging out with you at the D'Angelo's Construction Roadshow HQ. That's our roadshow sponsor for the entire year. Thanks to Oak Creek Automotive and Bobby Gutnick for coming on for this roadshow once again at the Milwaukee Mile. D'Angelo's Construction is a racing family business serving Milwaukee since 1982 with their trucking, snow plowing, and expert concrete work. They'll lay only the best commercial and residential concrete and will work with you to make your designs and ideas come to life, including stamped concrete and decorative displays. Go online right now to D'AngelosConstructionLLC.com. This portion of the show is brought to you by Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence if you're buying or selling a home or commercial property. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with Matt Rapina. His website, easy, mattrapina.com. mattrapina.com. Knowledge is power. Higher knowledge. We got a couple of guys here with us. It's great to see. We got a trio of drivers that are sitting with us. 2 are racing tomorrow. One's a spectator. But I wanted to bring him in because there's a lot to talk about here on the Racing Roundup program. Let's bring in one teenager on this side of me, Bill Preetzel. The other teenager over here is Ty Fredrickson. And the other guy over here, 2 years out of his teens. Come on now. Justin Monday. Guys, great to have you on. Bill, we'll start with you. Your wife Jan is over here. You're over here. You're back there already in the Mid-Am Series again at the mile. What do you guys work through today to get back in victory lane here?
Just trying to get comfortable today. I mean, our first practice session, we were the first ones out. The track was pretty dirty yet. We were, breaking in new brake pads and just getting comfortable. We were a little better the second session. The third session, we were a little better again, and I decided that was enough, so we skipped the last one.
Okay. What'd you see as far as the competition? You're pretty quick to gauge now.
We were probably 7th or 8th on the sheet, and we didn't tape it up or do any of that. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference here for the Mid-Am cars or not, but there's a couple cars that are a whole bunch faster than we are yet, so if they're going to be that fast tomorrow, we got a lot of work to do.
You got some practice sessions today.
Yep.
You mentioned you skipped a couple. Tomorrow you get one more crack at it, like a 10:30ish or so for about almost 10, 12 minutes, something like that. Yep. You going to go back out there?
We'll go out in the morning, warm everything up, make sure everything's good, but car was comfortable today. I always say I think the car is better than the driver right now.
Well, the cars will qualify. Mid-Am Racing Series will qualify at 11 a.m. right after Midwest Trucks and the ASA Stars National Tour. Mid-Am stock cars in group qualifying, 8 to 10 at a crack for 2 laps. Have you done that before?
We've done that the last couple of years here, and so far all the groups that I've qualified with, we strung out. Nobody got in anybody's way. I mean, you try and group. I mean, the series has been real good in grouping cars by practice times, and they've been real good at it. We haven't had hardly any issues at all with somebody running over somebody else, so it's been real good that way.
Sounds good. Single car qualifying for the ASA Stars National Tour about 11:15 tomorrow morning. If you're making your way to the mile, MilwaukeeMileRacing.com is the website to get to. Tickets are available. Kids tickets actually being sold just at the gate tomorrow. $5 for kids 5 through 11, under 4 free. Everybody else has to pay adult pricing, and there's pit passes available as well. Justin Mondyke, I saw a bunch of orange shirts here once again today. You brought the crew. You're sitting there second in the Midwest Tour points. This is a race that's extremely important for you guys, chasing that first championship, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one championship yet that we haven't been able to knock off and get in our court. So we had that circled on our schedule this year. It's definitely been a priority and focus for us. So it adds intensity, and it's pretty cool that the Stars National Tour is here as well. So feel pretty good about our car today. We unloaded pretty fast, and every practice session we kept going faster and faster, and I feel like it's got a pretty good balance at this point.
One of the biggest differences that continues to be talked about in this first year of the ASA Stars National Tour is they're primarily adapting. You leaving, Bill? Okay, thanks, Bill. Appreciate you coming on. I don't know anything. I'm just sitting here talking to people. I'll sit here all day and talk to you guys. Thank you, Bill.
I remember Ty's dad being a skinny teenager.
He remembers Dan Fredrickson as a teenager before he had his 5 kids. 6 kids? How many brothers? 5 kids, yeah. Ty being one of the oldest. Justin, when it comes to this racetrack, though, there's an option. Midwest Tour and ASA Stars National Tour. You can run your 2-barrel that you've been running all season long by rule in the Midwest Tour, but you also can run a 4-barrel if you care to. What have you guys decided, and is that a big factor for you here at the mile?
I can't really tell you that, what we decided. But
you have a choice, right?
We have a choice, yeah. So we tried both today and kind of still weighing our options with it. It's really hard to say, but I feel like we got on our best package right now. But it's nice to have the flexibility within the 2 options, right? But then it's also gives you options, and you can kind of make the wrong decision at the same time. So we tried both today. Both, I feel, are very, very close. It's whatever we feel is going to race better versus qualify. I know that we have to impound after qualifying, so you kind of made your bet in qualifying. So we're still looking at it as a team. We'll look at it tonight, make a few other changes on the car, and we'll see what we have for tomorrow.
You were here the last 3 times the ASA Midwest Tour raced at the Milwaukee Mile. Still looking for your first top 10 finish. It's 100 laps. I know we got rain shortened one in there along the way, but what makes this difficult or unique, or just something you're like, man, I got this figured out, but I got to make it last to the end? What are the scenarios you've played with as you're preparing all week and maybe the last couple weeks for this weekend?
Well, the biggest thing here is track position, right? So if you look at even tire fall off today when we put new ones on versus after a couple laps, I mean, it's 4 or 5 tenths after 10 laps, right? And it just continues to fall as the race goes on. So track position is huge. Being able to start in the top 10, keeping track of your lap times, keeping your car in a good shape. 3 years ago we were here, we were running top 5 and had motor issues, and then
The second year we were here, we were just really bad, and then last year I think we were running 6th or 7th with like 30 to go, and then we had a flat right front. So we've had good speed here. We just can never seem to finish the race or have a good outcome at the end of it. So far the weekend's been really good for us. We unloaded good off the truck, and like I said, I think we'll have a good piece for tomorrow.
Did you bring anybody special with you to the Milwaukee Mile, whether it be a sponsor or 3 crew people or new fans coming to say, I need to see Justin race at the mile this weekend?
No, hopefully just some new fans. I'm very fortunate with all my crew and my girlfriend and my crew chief Darren this weekend and Toby with helping us out and all my crew and sponsors and all the fans. So just really looking forward to tomorrow.
We're looking forward to seeing your race as well. Justin Mondyke, thanks for spending a few minutes with us here. Carrying the colors still, the Quickie Driver Development Program. Once you're in that, you're in it kind of for life, aren't you?
Absolutely. It helped put our name on the map. Still very honored to be a part of the program. We've still continued, the Mighty Bando Series up north and the Traveling Bandolero Series. So it's always cool to carry on his name. And like I said, I really appreciate you having me on the show.
And I will tell you, if you're watching this and you're not able to make it to the mile tomorrow, there is a special piece we're putting together on the stream. You'll see it on Racing America, TrackTV.com, or MidwestTour.tv. We found footage of Alan Quickie's win here from July 10th, 1983, where he beat Bob Seneker to the line. The names of drivers in that race was incredible, and Alan won that race, and that really kind of made him think, okay, I can do this. And the next year he was racing his first ever NASCAR Xfinity Series race. So I know things can be important when you tie that name, and especially here to the mile together.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, the history just with the mile. It was really cool to come back, 3 years ago and come back at the mile. It's such a different racetrack. We don't have a lot of experience on big tracks, right? It's normally half miles or 5/8 is the biggest we go to. So it's kind of hard to know what feel you're looking for. And over the years, I think experience has helped us. And like I said, we unloaded good today and excited for tomorrow.
Justin, we wish you well. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Justin Mondyke racing to get those points for the ASA Midwest Tour and the big victory to land right back here in Victory Lane at the Milwaukee Mile. Justin, thanks. Ty Fredrickson joins us now. Ty, you've got a few minutes to spare because you're not racing anything for a change when you're at the racetrack. You've been traveling the country racing Legends cars. You've done some really good things across the country, and now you get a chance to run Dad's super late model. Is that right?
We have a crate motor, but we run it in the super late classes where the crate late models prefer.
How'd it go?
The first race, qualified 12th, started there, missed the invert by 1 to start on the pole, and then worked our way up to, we were running for 3rd and fell back to 5th.
Not a bad way to go about things, is it?
Nope.
Really cool to see you getting these opportunities. What are you learning this weekend? I've got Albert Francis next to us as well, and Albert's, he's grown up in the sport. You've grown up in the sport. What are you learning? What are you taking in this weekend?
I'm just learning how to adjust the car and stuff to see how my dad likes the handle of the car and see what adjustments helps it handle better.
Dan Fredrickson driving the number 69 in a partnership with Michael Hind and racing for ASA Stars National Points. When it comes to the race car, what is your dad allowing you to do, and what do you want to do on these race cars to get them fast?
I just do whatever. I usually just jack the car up, take tires off, and do stuff like that.
Uncle David, I'm sure, is the one telling you things, or is Dad yelling out the door before he climbs out?
David's telling me what to do.
All right. It's a good combination, really. It's a good way to learn.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out with us for a few minutes. I saw him sitting over here on the photo stand. I'm like, come on up here, Ty. Hey, have fun tomorrow, too.
Thank you.
Look forward to him going over the wall. You're not going over the wall tomorrow, are you?
Yeah, I will.
All right, there you go. Look for the 69 pits for the shorter guy gaining experience here at the mile in every fashion. Ty Fredrickson joining us here. My goodness, I'm looking at this stat sheet. Albert Francis raced in the last 3 ASA Midwest Tour races here at the mile. And I recall, Albert, like it was yesterday, that number 33 car, going down the front stretch, you passed like 8 guys. You were fast here the first time I ever saw you race here. What made you adapt so quickly to racing here at the Milwaukee Mile?
I've been to a lot of different racetracks. It's different than anywhere you've ever been. So there's nothing that it's going to make you adapt any quicker. It's just as a driver knowing how to feel what you need to feel, and so it almost feels like the corners are longer than the straightaways here. It almost sounds stupid to say, but like the straightaways are really long, but like the corners, it seems like you're in them like a half a minute longer than you are down the straightaways.
So you've got the benefit of being here the last 3 times the ASA Midwest Tour ran here, but as far as those corners go, I also noticed over the course of my time sitting in the grandstand since 1971, which is true, left front lift, nose plowing a little bit, all those little nuances that seems like it magnifies now and what the super late model setups are for you guys. What do you guys work on today to get that front plane flat across and get on the gas as soon as you can?
You just got to be like right in the middle of the corner when you need to be getting in the throttle. You need to still be turning. So like you need to be able to be straight so you can get as much straightaway speed as possible. And we were struggling a little bit with that today. We were a little snug, but I think we're in a good spot. Johnny Van Dorn, he's on the box this weekend, so he should be able to get me in a good spot. So.
Johnny Van Dorn, he's a great race driver, very accomplished, and said, I need to focus on my family business. He and his brother Butch have started Van Dorn Racing Development. You're certainly part of that. They make some really fast chassis. How much of an impact is it knowing that he can still climb in that race car and try to get laps in to help you as well? I mean, that mindset, how comforting is that knowing that he's building the car that you're racing?
It helps a lot knowing that he's been in the cars before and he knows exactly kind of what I'm talking about. Because, like, sometimes if you're working with somebody who's never drove them and just worked on them, they don't know exactly the feel you're talking about. So it makes it easier to explain in sort of your own little race car language to
big time
somebody who's raced before.
So when you go like, he's like, I got you.
Yeah.
One of those deals.
Exactly.
Awesome. I mentioned you guys grew up as a family in racing. Tell us what your family business is for those people who may not be familiar on the Racing Roundup show about how important it is to race well, but you guys have a lot of responsibilities for racers nationwide, don't you?
Yeah. We build race engines and pretty much anything. I mean, we build a lot of diesel tractor and truck pulling. And
dude, that's so cool. I did one of those. That's amazing.
One of them?
Well, I did it for Lucas Oil on the Edge for MAV TV. I didn't drive it, but I was so impressed with
what year did you do that?
Let's see. It was at the Terre Haute Action Track. It was probably 2019, maybe? Somewhere in there?
I'm not sure.
You go to a bunch of them?
We ran full-time from 15 to 17.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen the Maximus Prime trucks. They kind of look like Optimus Prime. Yeah, they're the Max.
That's you guys?
Yeah.
How much fun is that, knowing you've had that as a background, and it's just – to me, it seems so different, so cool, because you were in that crowd. There were 3,000 people there, and everybody had a diesel truck with big old, seemed like 1 foot round stacks coming out the back of the truck bed. Just let her rip, man, on the racetrack and on the parking lot.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I work on them, but it's definitely not my favorite thing to do.
So what is your role when you're not driving this race car? With the family business, Francis Engineering.
I do a lot of the circle track engines. I'll do a lot of the machine work on all this stuff.
Okay.
I don't prefer to work on the big stuff. It's a little too heavy.
I've never been around a guy that builds his own engines or builds the engine, and now there's a certain feel in the seat of your pants that you have to have as a driver. Do you hear the car? Can you feel the engine? Can you're around engines your entire life. I think is there something that you can then bring then as a driver that says, okay, I work on the engines. I help build this engine I have in the car. Are you looking for a feel or a rumble or anything along that line that kind of comes to mind? Like, yep, that's what I wanted to hear or see or feel.
Yeah, it definitely helps with us developing stuff for our customers, knowing how smooth we can make them and easy on tires. And in a place like this, you just need horsepower, so it's not much of a it's pretty easy to build one to make horsepower. But
perhaps I was so impressed the first time I saw you here. I was looking at the front stretch, lap after lap, and all of a sudden this black 33 jumps down to the bottom, and you pass 4 guys down the front stretch. Do you remember that at all? Because I was like, that kid's got something. Who is that guy? I've been trying to pay attention to you since.
I don't remember it specifically, but
this ASA National Tour, ASA Stars National Tour, is going across the country, and you guys have committed to race this many races already. What's it been like racing against this competition, coming off of a regional tour and racing select All-American 400s and going to some other big races at the end of the year? What's it been like this year chasing what seems like the big races every time you race?
We've had a lot of good runs. I mean, aside from 5 Flags, we didn't run really good there, but Madison we run 7th. We were running pretty good at the other races until incidents happen, and that's all you can ask for is to be running up front. At least when that stuff happens, it makes you feel a lot better about it. It's still not a fun thing to do, but competition's definitely tough, but it's fun to race with guys that are actually competition rather than, running local or stuff like that.
Yep. Now I got you down at you're 21 years of age already?
Yep.
Best finish is 7th this year. You're 9th in points today. What is the goal tomorrow, knowing what you guys worked through today? Seeing some speed in some others, gaining speed throughout the day. What do you guys want to get away from here? 100 laps, top 5, top 10, a victory? What's the expectation?
I want to run in the top 10 and get some stage points and definitely finish up there. We need a good points day. So.
Yeah, a lot of points that can be gathered throughout the race. You mentioned stage points. Lap 35 and lap 70 if you're coming to the race tomorrow watching on the streams. Lap 35 is the end of Stage 1. Points are awarded just like NASCAR, 10 down to 1 for the top 10 finishers. Stage 2, and different than NASCAR, is that at the end of the race, Stage 3, the top 10 in finishing order also receive points. So it's a lot to keep track of. With just 10 races, I keep reminding myself, I'm like, okay, we're going here, we're going there next, we're going to this one. Dude, that's only 10 races to win a championship and get points.
Yeah.
Other series are 20 or 30 or more.
Qualifying worth points, and I mean, it's good to have speed, and it's you get I mean, if you don't qualify good, you can always get the hard charger bonus points too. So
you're up in there too. You passed a bunch of cars already this year.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. They're keeping track of those stats, and that'll pay out some cash at the end of the year as well. Albert Francis, thanks for joining us.
No problem. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, hanging out. You going to hang out tonight? Going to get a fish fry, a brewer game? What are you going to do tonight?
We're definitely going to go get some food. I don't know.
All right.
Yet.
Well, we got some choices. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people here that can give you 7 different choices each about where you want to get a good meal. We got you covered here in the Racing Roundup show in the Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. Thanks again for coming down.
Thank you.
I think he's got his own plan here. This guy sitting next to me is the current player of the ASA Midwest Tours. We say thank you to Albert Francis. We've got Gabe Summers joining us here from Plover, Wisconsin. Gabe, I think you guys probably did everything you could possibly change on that race car. I checked in a few times on you guys, and you were thrashing today. How did everything go for that number 15 ASA Stars National ASA Midwest Tour ride?
Well, I think we started out all right. When the track was a little cooler, a little less rubber on it. Struggled a little bit later in the run, kind of switching back and forth between 2-barrel and 4-barrel. We don't really know what we want to run yet. Been struggling with the car just a little bit. It's probably top 10 car right now. Just need to find a little bit more grip off the corner and just make it a little bit better for tomorrow.
We think of the names Trickle, we think of the name Shear. Those guys start their season in Speed Weeks in Daytona at New Smyrna Speedway in the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing. Gabe, you've done that now for a number of years, including this year. How does that help you prepare for wherever you may race this year?
Yeah, I think it helped for sure. Getting to Pensacola, we ran pretty good there, and we struggled there 2 years prior and made up a lot of ground when we went back there. I think we found a bunch of stuff at Speed Weeks to help with that. Just a 4-barrel racing, it's a lot different too, so when you go down there, it's good to get more notes and get a better chance at it with those guys down there since that's what they run on. So I think it gives us a good jump start and just helps out with the season.
Fight out of the box at Pensacola, the ASA Stars National Tour inaugural race was the Sunshine State 200 at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola back in March. You finished 6th there. Then they came to your turf, the Joe Shear Classic at Madison International Speedway, finishing on the podium there. That was a combination Midwest Tour, ASA Stars National Tour race. What'd you gather there, knowing you had a lot more knowledge of what those cars may or may not do on that half mile?
Yeah, it was still different with the 4-barrel. I think the racing was better, to be honest. I liked it a lot better and put on a better show, I think. So I'd like to see more of that kind of racing. I think it's more fun to drive, and definitely being on that track prior helped out a lot with the car, and just having laps around there compared to some of the other guys. We had a really good run there. I think we had a car to win if we had some more laps. We had a different pit strategy than most. It just ran out at some time. So I mean, we've been good, and that's what we got to bank on.
Hang out with Gabe Summers. He's finished as high as second in the ASA Midwest Tour points. Currently the point leader after 3 events here in the ASA Midwest Tour. At these 3 events, I think he did pretty decent to keep that lead. 6th at Slinger to open it up in April. 3rd as the Joe Shear combination race, and 9th at Jefferson. 3 very different racetracks. How different was it for you guys to set up for the Milwaukee Mile? Has it been a car you've been working on and setting aside, or has it been a car you guys have been just racing every chance you get?
Yeah, we haven't ran it that much. Body, obviously, is a lot different, and making sure everything's straight. A lot of body bracing. We put in a lot of time in on this car to get the body right to come here. That's basically the biggest thing to coming here, is making sure the body bracing's right and just making sure it looks good. So, and it's got to go through tack always, so that's always fun.
It is, and we got 19-year-old Gabe Summers hanging out with us, but he's got about 35 years of experience in the pits between 2 Wisconsin guys that are pretty good behind the wheel and behind the wrenches. Today I saw Chris Wimmer work with you, and I also saw your full-time guy, Travis Sauter, working with you here at the Mile. How much does that play to your benefit, knowing their experience, especially their successes here at the Mile?
For sure, yeah. Travis won one here, and Chris also ran here. So that helps out a lot, helping me out, and they kind of know what the car's got to be to win here, so that helps out.
So when they say, let's try this or try that, or even the racing line, you've got that depth of knowledge. How much time have you guys gone through video or talked through things, or maybe even today after practice going, okay, here's where I think we got it. Regardless of what we have under the hood, this is the areas I think I got it down.
Yeah, for sure. Chris was watching in the corner and making sure I'm in the right spot and making sure the nose is down on the ground and everything looks right. But we definitely talked about the line a little bit to work on my part, and I think we need to work on the car just a little bit, and I think we'll be top 5.
There'll be a couple more Sodders here tomorrow. Tim Sodders coming down. That's Travis Sodders' father. Tim actually won the pole here in 1998. Led a bunch of laps there. He's raced here a bunch in the both the NASCAR Xfinity Series, NASCAR Truck Series, and of course in ASA where he's the 1999 champion. Now let's see, it's Tim the dad, Travis the son, now the grandson Reed, Travis's boy. He's been helping you guys. He's going to be doing the sign tomorrow. He told me at Madison he's going to practice at home. He's going to do the pit board. It's got to be fun having that kind of enthusiasm around the shop and at the racetrack.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely involved in it heavily, especially in the shop, too. Loves coming to the track, and he likes doing the pit sign. So it's good to get young guys in here and find their way in racing.
It's Father's Day weekend. I know your dad, your uncle have been way involved in this. How cool is that you're just 19 years of age, but how many years have you been racing with your family? 10, 15? I don't know.
Yeah, it's been quite a while, so it wouldn't be possible without them, and hopefully we can get a win for them. My dad's been with me since Bandolero, and just basically our whole family.
When did you guys start saying, okay, we're running Bandoleros at 1 track or 2 tracks or 3 tracks? How quickly did that escalate into we're getting a stock car, we're going racing, we're going ASA Midwest Tour racing?
It took some time. I mean, we've been in it for a while. We ran Bandoleros 2 years, and then Midwest Trucks 2 years, and then we went to Super Late. So, I mean, it's been a process, and I think I've come a long way as a driver and our team, too.
For those folks watch the Midwest Truck Series as part of the action tomorrow, 100-lap Super Late Model race is what you'll be racing in. How important is it to get a track like this on, say, the Midwest Tour, Midwest Truck Series, schedule?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't get to race here when I was because we didn't race here yet, but I definitely think it would help for experience running a Super Late. I think any experience here is going to help you as a driver.
All right, Gabe, tomorrow, what's the plan? We've got a schedule we'll go through here. You've got to be here for a mandatory driver's meeting. I know you love mornings. 8:45, you got to be like hanging out here in Victory Lane for a driver's meeting. Is that an early start for you, or you know it's going to be a good day when you got to be here early and you're racing at 2:30 in the afternoon?
Well, I'll know about when practice starts.
All right, we know when that starts. So I've got a schedule right in front of me thanks to Kay Gundrum. 10:04 for 20 minutes. You had 4 sessions today. We talked about the changes you had. I'm guessing that's going to be a pretty important session for you guys trying to solidify what you want to do for the race.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to unload with some different stuff in the morning for that first practice and see where we're at compared to everybody else and go from there. But hopefully we can get something a little bit better in the morning in that first session.
And qualifying is soon after that, so it's really a matter of just finding small things, I'm guessing, in the morning. 11:15 about thereabouts is the ASA Stars National and ASA Midwest Tour qualifying. So if you're going to come down to the mile or join us on the stream, that's all going to be all part of the stream broadcast on Racing America, MidwestTour.tv, as well as TrackTV.com. You can find some great deals there. If you already subscribe, you get some money off. If you want to buy a 6-race package, the rest of the ASA Stars National races, there's an offer out there on all the streaming channels. When it goes to racing, last question for you, Gabe. When you're not racing in the car, what do you watch on TV? Do you watch TV at all? Or are you YouTubing races? Are you looking at what David Pearson did at Darlington? I mean, what are you doing to kind of stay in that mode and mindset when you get a chance to race a race car?
No, not really. Just kind of watch a little bit of film, but I don't watch a lot of TV. So,
all right.
Just a little bit of racing here and there in the shop a lot. So, just watching Race Monitor and stuff too a lot.
It's paying off for certain. Thanks again for taking some time this afternoon. I know you got a lot of things to work through tonight. We appreciate you taking time with us here in Victory Lane. We hope to see you back here in about 24 hours or so. That work for you?
That would work great.
Gabe, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it. We're hanging out with you at the Milwaukee Mile. We're inside Victory Lane where it's going to happen tomorrow. All 5 divisions will roll in here. We got some introductions to do tomorrow as well. Driver intros will happen right before the ASA Father's Day 100. That's the ASA Super Late Model race. That's the ASA Stars National Tour. 11 different states, 10 drivers from Wisconsin, and, of course, Nova Scotia represented as well with Cole Butcher, who we had on the show a moment ago. We're coming back with more on this DeAngelo's Construction Roadshow presented by Oak Creek Automotive, live inside the Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show. Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more.
Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack-leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much. American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500. You see him on MAV TV's coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, the ASA Stars National Tour, and the 500 Sprint Car Tour. The host of our show, Jim Trado.
Thank you. That's the voice of Dean Straum. He'll be back in action, not this coming Tuesday, June 20th, but he's on a boat somewhere right about now. We'll see Dean on our show on June 27th when we're back at Polly's Pub and Eatery. This coming Tuesday, we're at Polly's Pub and Eatery as well. Right now, we are hanging out with you at Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. TV Bill Holland is here, capturing all the good stuff for the In the Groove segment. Good to see you, Bill. We also want to tell you that we've got a lot of people to thank for being part of this show and continuing our 39th season so strong here in this DeAngelo's Construction Roadshow. This week it's brought to you by Oak Creek Automotive. Bobby Gutnick and the experts there at Oak Creek Automotive. They're on South 27th in Drexel. Well over 3 decades of experience repairing your daily driver to full-size truck repair. We're talking about engine, transmission replacement, emission tests, brake jobs. They got it all for you. Standard maintenance to just about anything you can have for a light truck on through. See the experts at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th and Drexel in Oak Creek. We now are joined by another Wisconsin native. We talked about the 10 Wisconsin drivers in the ASA Stars National Tour. He's got a lot of ASA history as well, and I'm so pleased to have, for a few minutes, my friend Mark Gundrum, who, honestly, Mark, thank you for your involvement. You were kind enough to say, Jim, we're doing this TV show at Slinger Speedway in 1991, and we need a commentator that knows something about racing. So since then, I've been thanking you for the opportunities I've been given to hang out and do cool things like this show and hang out with you guys at the racetrack.
1991.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool, and a great amount of time spent together and a great friendship forged, and to continue to be a part of this stuff with you all these years has been great.
You've had an ARCA logo on your shirt for a number of years after ASA, the National Tour. Last race here was in 2004, right on the time you transitioned over to the ARCA Menard Series office, where you spent that time until, what, this past year when you retired?
17 years at ARCA, after 10 at ASA in Indiana, after, I think, 8 at Slinger.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like I'm going backwards here.
You're wearing the logo. You're wearing the logo. It's kind of cool.
Back to ASA and probably go back to like $100 a week for Todd Thielen at Slinger here before it's all over and done. Just end it.
He might ask why you want a pay raise, Mark.
That's why I started.
It's a great family business, the Slinger Super Speedway. They're racing Sunday night as well. This is by choice, you're home. You guys have a place outside the state in the wintertime. I don't blame you. But this retirement thing, it's kind of getting busy with the ASA Stars National Tour, isn't it? You're getting more ingrained, but I have to tell you, for on the record, the beauty of having you tied into this, Joe Balish tied into this, we have some of that feel, some of that earth and what made sense then. The Winter Circle program, thanks to Team Construction, all these elements that seemed to make sense then are coming to fore again.
You know, it was nice to step away from the business. It was, a lot of travel, more than I cared for at the end. And I think I was just getting comfortable when Sargent called me and said he was starting to buy these regional tours, and would I talk to him and would I help him? And he started talking about a national tour. And I was interested, quite honestly. The super late model style racing really has been my passion from the time I started and even before, growing up in Slinger, going to the racetrack there. Building this thing, modeling it kind of after ASA, just seemed like a natural thing to do based on how that success worked as a national tour that was still Midwestern based, and it branched out and what have you. When the opportunity to bring the ASA brand to this property presented itself and actually happened, I mean, I think it even changed the way everybody looked at what we were talking about. And what
it was a working name that wasn't really ASA led. It came up as part of it after you dedicated to working with the series.
We introduced the series just as Stars National Series actually at first, and then we had this opportunity to work with NASCAR to license the use of the name. And once they figured out that we were legit, they said, you know what? We acquired the IP rights to the ASA brand for the purpose of keeping the historic reference alive. Did not want it to just go away, with an idea that at some point maybe it would come back, just waiting for the right opportunity. And as Bob Sargent brought this idea of a national tour together and we kind of laid out what we were going to do, Jim France and the folks at NASCAR were like, you know what, this is the right opportunity to bring that brand back to short track racing. And here we are, back at the mile. How cool is this?
And that was a discussion. Bob Sargent, Jim France of NASCAR, and getting it done right and bringing in key people along the way. And we're seeing some really good people racing in the series, committed to this deal. $15,000 to win race again on Sunday, Father's Day 100. Throwing money at it, but also the owners program. You work really hard at making sure the sponsors are happy, but these teams are getting rewarded for being loyal to the series as well. And that takes time, commitment on the phone, dedication, and saying, this is what we want to build. We want you to be part of it.
Money helps, of course, for race teams. And we want to do all we can to try and make this make sense to all the race teams who choose to support it. But they need to understand and trust us as well. And, we're working awful hard here to try and make this work. And it's been a much bigger challenge to blend the three regional tours together from a rules perspective than any of us thought. And a guy who just walked into the audience here, my friend Joe Balish, has been working his butt off, and he's not done yet. I can tell you that for sure. I'm surprised you're here this early, Joe. But working with these teams, working with the different rules packages and the options has really been more of a challenge than any of us thought in trying to find the balance so that the cars from down south can race from the cars up here in Wisconsin and the middle part of the country. And it's not been perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like every race we get better. I feel like every race we get a little bit more of the trust of the race teams who understand that, we're not goofing around. We're not trying to fool them or mess with them. We're trying to do the right thing and create a platform for them to come and run on a national tour, on a national stage. And we want the finances to back it up and to make sense for them. And, getting to the halfway point, hard to believe already that Milwaukee is race 5 of 10. We start Sunday night, Joe and I and Bob and a couple other folks on the management team looking to 24. Hard. Sunday night, Monday during the day, Bob is staying in town, Joe is staying in town, and we're talking about next year. And we're starting to put our plans and programs in place.
One thing, if you're new to the ASA Stars National Tour platform, I call it that because it is a platform to succeed. Super late models, you want to run with the best? This is the series to do it. We're not talking about renting the track somewhere and hoping that people show up because there's an open date. We're talking about the Redbud 400 in Anderson, Indiana on the schedule this year. We're talking about the Winchester 400 on the schedule this year. We're talking about the Toledo Glass City 200 on the schedule yet this year. And the 250 lap Gandard Auto Group 250 at Wisconsin International Raceway on Tuesday, August 1st is part of this series as well. So it's not a matter of saying, where can we play? You guys have done a lot of work already saying we want to be at these premier races. that drivers may have saved all their money for to run 4.5. Hey, let's make this worth a while and go on a national tour. So there's a lot to that. And I look back today, I kind of reflected a bit. This racetrack meant a lot to ASA back in the day. Rex and Becky Robbins, I know you stayed with them and traveled down the road, and we became great friends. But Rex knew the importance of racing here at the Milwaukee Mile for ASA in 1978 on through, and having Darrell Waltrip and David Pearson and Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin, when they're all racing in NASCAR, to come here and race on these weekends. Dale Earnhardt included in 1987, I believe. It was really cool to know that was part of the history. What was the importance then and the importance now of the mile with ASA?
You know, a track like this becomes like the Super Bowl for short track racers. And really the mile, a mile, is about the biggest track Rex ever wanted to race on with the ASA cars. And it's probably as big a track as we need to run these super late models on. To think about going to Gateway or somewhere else like that, we're a little nervous about it. And I think, you know, from a size perspective, this is about as big as we should do. And just that sheer size captures the imagination of the race team and the history of this place. It was a great venue for ASA. Some years twice a year, a lot of years once a year, but back into the late 70s and early 80s, as a kid, I remember coming down here and watching the ASA races and coming back and watching the IndyCar races, and just pulling into this place on the fairgrounds kind of gets your attention. I mean, it's not quite Daytona, but there is a tunnel down here outside of Turn 4 that you can come through. You know, and it was always interesting to come here because we always had to lease the place from the state fair and be the promoter and the sanctioning body, so it was double duty work. Not only putting the race on and the rules and the schedule, but running the promotion here in the city of Milwaukee and watching the fans come out. And, you know, we hope they continue to come out. This moving this race here late put our guys at Track Enterprises a little bit behind in getting the promotion started. But, you know, I'm told the ticket sales are good. For the first time in a couple of years, the weatherman is on our side early. You know, I think last couple times we've had weather to deal with here. But it's an important stop. And I think, you know, if we're going to be ASA, we should run at the Milwaukee Mile. And if you think about these other events that you talked about, the Red Bud 400 was an ASA race. The Winchester 400 was an ASA race. The All-American 400 was an ASA race.
That's the finale this year. That's another big one. That's going to decide the championship here.
So not only since ASA went away, and these events have found a way to maintain their status as marquee races with other groups running them, the chance for us to come back, be a part of them, bring the ASA brand back has been really cool for pretty much everybody.
Mark Gundrum, it's cool to be with you again here back at the mile and doing everything you can to make this thing rock, and I appreciate your help and efforts and just the care. I mean, I guess we're too stupid not to care so much, right?
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, the sport is great, and asphalt racing needs something like this, a lot of people think. And if we're able to provide that, we're willing to work hard to do it.
Mark, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Appreciate it. It's always great to be part of this, and you can be part of it tomorrow. Yeah, he's getting a round of applause. We're not at a golf course, but we got enough people here hanging out and having a cold one in the Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. We're going to wrap things up here from Milwaukee. We're going to tell you that Ty Majeski was the fastest of the ASA Stars National Tour cars here. 29.11 seconds his best lap. I'm going to look down the list here. Bubba Powered was the 26th fastest car. 31.014. That's less than a second. That's a whole lot of cars in between, a lot of competition, a lot of things to work on tomorrow, practice tomorrow morning. Everything opens up at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you want to come on down and join us, MilwaukeeMileRacing.com is the website. But get to the Milwaukee Mile. Be part of this. We need you here to support this. Track Enterprises, as Mark alluded to, there's a lot on the line. A lot of short track races don't get the chance but once a year to race here. We want to keep that going. We also know that the ARCA Menard Series in August was racing with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series coming back here to the mile on Sunday, August 27th. That's a Track Enterprises initiative. So if you're in the area, we encourage you to come out to join us here at the Milwaukee Mile and enjoy the race day. Stands open at 9 a.m. The infield is open for parking as well. A lot of questions I know online about what's the schedule. Just get here at 9 in the morning. We got a lot of racing starting at 1 o'clock to cover. We got 5 divisions of racing. The headline division, we heard about from a bunch of different drivers here today. The Midwest Truck Series is kicking things off at 1 o'clock with their 20-lapper. The Vors Compact Touring Series, a 6-wide salute lap. That's kind of cool. We're going to have the Mid-Am Racing Series. They're in their 30th season of racing. I remember back in the 90s, Gary Vercotteren brought, I think, 55 cars here once to race. It's a big deal for these short track grassroots racers to race here at the Milwaukee Mile. I can't forget the Upper Midwest Vintage Series as well. They've got a lot going on, and they're going to be racing at the end of the day tomorrow afternoon. So lots to do, lots to see. Come on down and join us. Kids tickets start at $5. I think you can still get advance tickets right now online, right? MilwaukeeMileRacing.com. Great opportunity to save $5 at the door. Seating in the stands. Hang out in the infield. Bring your own cooler. Hang out in the car. Have some fun. And we're going to tell you that we'll be back on our show Tuesday from Polly's Pub and Eatery. Looking forward to having that going on. We have one more commercial break. I'll get in the commercial break. Okay, we're going to do one more commercial break. I'll keep rambling because I'm at the mile. It's a beautiful afternoon. It's race weekend. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup program. We're hanging out in the Milwaukee Mile for just about 1 more minute longer. I was wrong. Bubba Powered actually was the 19th fastest car. I had it listed here twice on my sheet. Sorry, folks, of Bubba Powered. He's here today racing. 6 drivers are racing this coming August 27th in either the ARCA Menard Series or in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. 6 drivers racing tomorrow. We'll be here on that big race day here at the Milwaukee Mile. I want to thank our crew for being part of another great show. Thank you to Dave Schmalzer, Matt Rapina, Greg Lapine. Thank you, Scott Krieger, for your help today. Mark Goodman for your help today. My son, Sam Trado. Appreciate Austin Schufert and all his efforts as well. They let us hang out here in Victory Lane with you. It's going to be a great race day tomorrow. It all begins at 9 a.m. at the Milwaukee Mile. Get your tickets in advance or come on down and bring your friends and bring your family. We're looking forward to seeing you for another great race day for the grassroots racers and the ASA Stars National Tour, ASA Midwest Tour, and the Father's Day 100. That race about 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. It's all going to be on the stream, but tape that stuff. We want to see you here. As we always like to say, set your DVRs, support your local racing, and have at it, racers. We'll see you Tuesday.
We hope you enjoyed our show. Like our show on Facebook and share our show with your friends. Follow and interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. To listen and watch our shows on demand, visit our website, racingroundupshow.com. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, this is Dean Strom reminding you to support your local racetracks. Set your DVRs. Have at it, racers.
You could let us go if you want, but the second you do, we're putting out a press release saying Pearson Spector lit